Books Nelson here, back with another video, and today we'll be breaking down Tyrese Maxey. But before you click off the video, it is not about Ruby Tyrese Maxey, although he is a very good Ruby card in this game, and easily the best point guard in my lineup in this early stage of my team. But this is about how to extract the power out of a card and how to find what a card is actually good at. So Tyrese has some things that are obviously good, right? He's got a solid double cross on his size up. He's got a good snatch back. He does have a burst out of his aggressive dribble, right? And he doesn't really burst out of it to the same side, but he can go to the opposite side, and he can also cross over out of that. So it's not useless. But if you looked at his explosive behind the back, you go, oh, well, maybe that's not very good. That's not doing much according to the meta. We're going to get into how to use that move better. If you look at his regular size up combo, that's kind of slow, doesn't really move forward, doesn't really move back either. Like, he moves back a little bit at the end of it, but by that time your opponent has already made their decisions, so that might not be strong. Why do I think Tyrese Maxey is very good? All right, let's break it down. So we're changing our dribble guide in terms of last year. Last year it was the 4 cardinal directions. It was ball hand, off ball hand, towards the basket, and away from the basket. This year, it's different because we're adding a new element to the equation, and that's tempo. Can you move at different speeds? This is important because if you're moving at max speed and you try to shoot, it's very difficult to stop and shoot. Yes, there are things like hezzies that you can do to stabilize your character, but there's still a delay on that stuff that's not there if you move at regular speed and pull up. I just did it right there. That's not a quick stop. You don't need a quick stop. You need to not be moving so quickly, right? So that having been said, a character that has the ability to change pace and change tempo at a very high clip is a character that can score in more ways than a character who has to do everything running super fast and either going to the basket or trying to quick stop or pull up from a 3 or shoot a leaner. The game is more subtle now. The game is more complex and more layers. So Tyrese has various tempos that he can move at. So let's look at his standstill push cross in the other direction. It is lightning fast. If we look at his same side burst, it is also very good. However, last year, if you had a push cross towards the opposite side ball hand, it would work out of a size up no matter what, right? But you see there, he's got a hezzy. This is 2K25. It's a different game. So when I look at Maxey, depending on how I do my size ups, he's going to get a different burst. In order to get the really quick burst, you have to wait. But waiting might not be where your goals are. So if he's moving from a standstill, great. But as soon as he starts dribbling, he's going to get he's getting a lot slower, quite frankly, in his attack if you're trying to get that lightning fast attack. However, all is not lost, because if I am sizing up, what Tyrese has is he has a plethora of fantastic hop jump animations. Right, his hop jump animations are all excellent. So let's break down those hop jump animations. As you all know, you can cancel out of a hop jump animation into attack. So with Tyrese, with his dribble style, his hop jump animations allow him to burst immediately out. And we saw he just double dribble right there. We ain't gonna talk about it. But he can burst out of his hop jumpers immediately. So this means I can size up, hop, and then go in a way that is much more like last year, in terms of my ability to quickly get off of the dribbling and into the attacking. It's a very important quality for a card to have. So because of that, he can now also change pace and the direction of his attacks, because if I attack off a size up, some of his attacks are more horizontal, right? And they have different pacings to them. So when you're going off of a size up, you have to be very aware of what you're doing and when you're doing it. And this is a skill gap I think everyone is eventually going to cross, but we're used to, easy bake oven offense, and that's just not the way the game is designed now. However, if you do want to have a little more easy bake oven offense with Tyrese Maxey, you access those hop jumpers and you're good to go. So let's continue to talk about these hop jumpers for a moment. Let's just look at them. So this is hop jumper to the same ball hand. Very quick. This is opposite ball hand. All right. Now we're going to switch hands and do the same thing, because they won't necessarily be the same. They're not necessarily symmetrical. As you can see there, when the ball's in his left hand, what he wants to do is he wants to Well, you got to watch the angle you're doing it at, but he seems to want to do this behind the back thing, right? Which is fine. That's a thing you can do, but now we're aware of that, right? So let's look at some other directions here. So this is forward towards like more the opposite ball hand. You see there, he's got a little crossover going on with it, and this is directly forward. Well, he went to his, yeah, he goes to his go-to if you go directly forward. If I go forward at an angle, he goes to this hop jumper, right? So hop jumpers are 8 directional. We've been talking about them left, right, up, down, but here we see 8 directions. And this is particularly important because of what you just saw right there. Tyrese Maxey has a built-in misdirection in his hop jumper package, right? So what a misdirection is I hope this is available in my career, is basically I move one way, but the ball stays in the same side ball hand. So now out of my dribble style, I can attack with speed in different directions, right? So I can go the same way or I can go the opposite direction. It doesn't matter. It's dealer's choice, right? I can do whatever I want. And you see there, he gets a nice little burst out of that if you get your timing right. And if you don't get your timing right, it's not even that slow, right? But if you do get your timing right, he gets like a really fast burst. And you can actually cancel this pretty early from Maxey. So this means as you're sizing up and you go to these hop jumpers, you can really set up and change how you're attacking, right? And he has a lot of options to size up, hop jumper, and then attack out of it. Okay, cool. So this is one of the reasons I made this video, because Tyrese Maxey is a great way to see how to get the power out of a card. Last year, you would have come on here, seen that he can't burst out of his size up consistently at the top speed, and that you had to wait and go, well, I can't wait every time I want to attack, so that's not going to be useful. It is useful if you have other options, right? And he does have other options. So he can attack fast, he can attack slow, he can attack at different angles, he can back off, he can move to the side. So we'll talk a little more about the rest of his stuff. So he also has, if you guys remember from my dribble tutorial, hopefully you watch that, both dribble tutorials, because there is good information in there. If you do a size up, the same way you do a size up and get your behind the backs going, you do the same thing with this like attacking dribble, right? So if you do your size up, you get this attacking dribble right here, right? It's like the aggressive crossovers from last year. So basically he has this auto attack that he can get into as well. So now if you put all this stuff together, you can very quickly see how Tyrese Maxey can get very, very, very shifty with the basketball, and is also very quick and can explode in every direction and just really do what he wants to on the basketball court, right? Like he can snatch, he can hop, he can really do it all. So let's talk a little bit more about these hop jumpers. There's something about hop jumpers I wanted to highlight for y'all. So if your hop jumper moving to the side when you're running, this is a really important animation this year, because what you normally want to do here is shoot a leaner, right? But we know that rhythm shooting is very, very powerful. So if you're in a situation where you want to use rhythm shooting and you're holding turbo the whole way, it's going to be very difficult to get a true leaner off of that side sprint. So what you're going to get is you're going to get this hop jumper. So if you get that hop jumper, and it's a good animation that you can rely on, you can do your rhythm shooting out of that hop jumper, right? And so the way you do that is you're just holding the direction, you see it on the screen, left with the stick, and then you go back to the right side with the stick. Because rhythm shooting is opposite side. It's not down up, it's opposite side of whatever you're doing. So for instance, this misdirection move that we talked about before, right? I can take that misdirection and go into a rhythm shot off of it as well, right? So something like that misdirection shot would have been a very, very, very high difficulty shot last year. But now having the rhythm shooting, you can lower that difficulty dramatically. You see here, I just got this Tyrese Maxey card from the daily login. So I haven't had it for very long, and I'm hitting that shot already consistently with very little practice. So if you put some practice into it, that can be a shot you can rely on, which becomes important when this is also a dribble you can burst out of. Because in this game, if they're not tight on you and you shoot that rhythm shot, that's going to go in if your timing is right. So they have to get up on you. And this changes how offense is played in the game. Another thing that changes how offense is played in the game, I'm probably going to repeat this for every video, because until the dribble videos are like highly viewed, I'm just going to assume that a lot of people watching every video haven't heard. But basically, if you're sprinting around Look at the angle, look at the hips, look at the shoulders. The player cannot stop off of that. Yes, you can do a hezzy to go to a quick stop, but that is not as fast as moving at normal speed and then pulling up instantly. Not an instant pull up, it's an old school pull up, you know, and it's fine if people aren't biting, but if you're both running at full speed, that person's going to press triangle and get to that shot off of this hezzy, which is why you don't see a lot of these shots going in, even in high competition. What's going to be more valuable is when you're at medium speed and you just stop and pull up, because they're not sprinting when you're at medium speed, right? They're trying to stop you from going to the basket, and you just pull up, not even in their face, you pull up while they're backing off of you. And that's a decision you can make very quickly. You don't have to pre-plan that decision. In previous years, pre-planned offense was a lot of NBA 2K. Whereas now you can have reactive offense if you are moving at medium speed and you're still in the decision-making phase. So now the offense is more about commitment, planning, setup, reaction. Those are all factors. Previously, it was all commitment, all pre-planned, right? Whereas now you can react and read your opponent a little and go, this guy's just waiting for me to go to the basket, so I'm just going to kill him with these all day. Oh, this guy's not reacting to me shooting. Okay, so I'm going to hit, you know, these misdirection shots on him all day, and I'm going to get into my bag with that. Oh, is he playing that? Okay, now I can go to the basket, right? Or you can combine that last approach with the first approach, which is, oh, you're playing this? I'm going to look like I'm going to the basket, but I'm going to slow down and just pull up on you. That shot was basically impossible in previous 2Ks. Your player was on rollerblades before. They would just be all over the place. Whereas now you can pull up with that shot. So yes, Tyrese Maxey, in my opinion, is an excellent Ruby point guard, especially offensively. He just has a lot going for him. I mean, he can finish, he can, you know, he can dribble, he can shoot. His shot, massively upgraded jumper, right? As you can see here, not a jump scare anymore, just a regular jump shot, thankfully. So Tyrese Maxey really has it all. And I would say going forward in the future, be on the lookout for Tyrese Maxey cards, because his value is going to be way above what it was in previous years. Tyrese Maxey will be, in my opinion, one of the best point guards in the game until the large point guards are the meta in the game. But when that first Amethyst or Diamond Tyrese Maxey comes out, I'm all over it. Hopefully you guys are as well. And hopefully this video helped y'all out. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. But as you can see, there's just a lot to extract from Tyrese Maxey, but we're not quite done yet. I do want to talk a little bit more about some of his other SIGs, just to be thorough and have this be a full review of this Tyrese Maxey, because I do think this is a very attainable card that's probably a lot better than some of the easily attainable cards. So that's his double cross. He doesn't explode out of that particularly great, at least not with that timing. Let's try a different timing. Even with a slower timing, let's see a faster timing. Now, he doesn't explode out of his double cross particularly great. Same side hand, not great. So his double cross is a good setup for his snatchback. And I would say if you want to get out of his double cross, go to his hop jumpers. And it'll be really good for that. So if you snatch, double cross, hop jumper, and then go, that'll be pretty good. I actually interrupted his double cross there, so let's try it. And then same direction. Look at that. He puts the ball behind his back and then travels the other way. Awesome. Just awesome. So anyway, yeah, so I think his hop jumpers open up his whole dribble package, right? So we look at his behind the back here. His behind the back actually sets him up for some misdirections. Not misdirections, I'm sorry. For some cross launches. There we go. I was trying to find the word. Yeah, it sets him up for some cross launches. I think he can even go same side off of this. Let me see. He can go same side. It's a little slow. Maybe if you let it play out, maybe he'll get an explosion. Nah, even if you let it play out, not loving what I'm seeing there. Let's try. Yeah, it's not super great if you let it play out like that. However, as we know, you can hop jumper out of it, and then you can go off of that. And he has hop jumpers in every direction that are very good. So whatever direction you choose, he's good to go for you, right? I want to, just out of curiosity, I want to see what that looks like with the misdirection. Can I get that? Now he doesn't really misdirect off of that because his shoulders aren't straight. So yeah, it's kind of limited on that behind the back. It does create good space, and you can still snatch off of it. I like the snatch off of that is beautiful, actually. And I'm walking y'all through this process because I want y'all to see like how you really find the power of these cards. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of options to problem solve with these cards, and that's what I wanted to show you. Obviously, I'm not going to get on here and make a breakdown of Ruby Tyrese Maxey for no reason, right? Like this is not a, you know, I'm not going to get 10 million views off of this. He's not going to get me to 100,000 subscribers. But Tyrese Maxey has a lot to teach us about 2K25, and that's what I want this community to get out of this, is to use this Tyrese Maxey lesson to learn how to problem solve in this game and how to get to your bag and find the gems with the cards. As I said in both of my dribble tutorials, I will be here along the way on this learning journey as we learn this game. But understand, no one knows how to play this game yet. No one is playing 2K25. They're playing 2K24 and they're trying to fit it into 2K25. And eventually they will stop and they will learn the new game as opposed to trying to play the old game and doing their old tricks. You know, as a Flea once said, you know, same old licks, same old tricks. So they're going to still be doing that for probably another 2 weeks or so. Some of the pros are adapting already, but it's going to be a growing process, which is to be expected. That's true of every game and every community. But right now, people's information is based off of doing what worked last year. And I think that there's a healthy bit of new stuff that will change how 2K is played. And so being able to go into a card and problem solve, like we problem solved his behind the back, right? We problem solved his double cross, and we figured out, okay, how can we get these things to work? Because they don't obviously explode the way they did last year, but they still explode. You just have to branch them to a move that gives you those options, right? And as you can see, I mean, Tyrese honestly has the whole bag. He can move every direction at every speed and explode off of anything, and is way better than I thought he was going to be. So that's going to wrap it up for me. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. And if you have, thanks for your support. But we will be here more 10 toes down learning this game. I'm having a blast discovering things about this game. And I hope you are as well. And if you're not, hopefully I can help you have more fun throughout this learning process. All right. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.